Happy Friday. What's up, everybody? Hopefully you had a great week. Welcome to the Deal Desk. If this is your first time tuning in, the way this works is you submit your leads for me to call live. It doesn't matter where they are. I prefer that you speak with them first. I want to make sure that I'm warm calling, not cold calling. If you want to submit your leads for me to call live, head over to the REI Toolbox.com. Submit your leads live there. And if you are in the Real Advisors community, I get to call those leads first. If you guys are watching in the Zoom, and then if you guys are watching on the YouTube channel, head over to the REIToolbox.com. So let's get right into it. Let's pull up our first property here. This one is in Leesburg, Florida. Leesburg, Florida. All right, let me go and share my screen here. And then we'll go over the details. All right. Leesburg, Florida. So this is the property. Okay, so what are the details with this? Let's see. Needs some work. 2 properties for price of 1. ADU on the back needs work. Asking price $250. What's the reason for selling? Was on market just a month ago. Looks like the deal fell through and now it's back on the market. Oh, that's important to know. I'm going to write that down because anytime a property's on the market and it falls through, you want to find out why, and that's going to help you. If you're ever trying to make an offer on a property and it was listed and it got taken down, you always want to ask them, hey, this was listed. Why did it get taken down? And by the way, if a property was ever listed, okay, you cannot get it under contract for the same price it was listed for. All right. Or you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because then you're going to run into the same issue depending on what exactly happened. Okay. So it fell through. Okay, what else? Bonus home, ADU, needs to be remodeled. Main home already remodeled, sits on 1/4 of an acre. Seller's name is Jacob. Let's take a look at this property. Okay, so this is the main house. Looks like it's updated. Okay. So the ADU, I want to ask a little bit about that. House looks okay. All right, let's give him a call. See what happens. Main reason I want to find out, well, why was it listed and why did it fall through? And I like using PropStream for comps. Sometimes it'll tell me a little bit of information on there, like what the price was, what it was listed for, and how many days on market. First, let me try to give him a call before I get into the details here. Let's call Mr. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm just calling him by his first name. Jake. 2, 4. All right, let's find out. Let's put on speaker here. Now I'm going to start running comps on this. I'll call one more time if he doesn't pick up.
Hi, you reached Jacob Peck. Sorry, I can't come to the...
Let's call one more time. Some people ask, well, why do you call twice? Well, I think it's important to call twice because especially if you're calling in a different, like This property's in Leesburg. I live here in Tampa. When I'm calling this seller, my area code is going to be different. Now, I don't know where these leads come from, where you submit them. I only see them when I start the show. I see the spreadsheet. But if you are targeting a market, I highly advise you guys to get a phone number local to that. And there's a lot of phone systems out there, Call Tools, Ready Mode, Mojo. You can buy these phone numbers cheap. Make sure the area code matches where you're calling, right? And the chances of them picking up are a little bit higher. All right, so I'm calling using my Google Voice. And sometimes when I call using Google Voice, their caller ID or display name will actually show. It says Remax Freedom. So he might be an agent. He might own the property. Let's take a look. So there's 2 parcels. All right. So I want to see, is he the owner or is he representing the owner?
Hi, you reached Jacob Pass. Sorry, I
All
can't
right.
come to the phone right
He
now.
didn't pick up the phone. I don't see any information about this thing being listed. So when you do get a hold of this seller, oh, here it is. I think this is it. Let me see. All right, so this has been 70 days on Zillow. Okay. There's an ADU. I want to see. I don't see any listing. Let me see. Sometimes this will show like the listing history. The purpose of looking at the listing history is to use it to negotiate to your advantage, because some people will list a property. Let's say they have it listed for $300,000, and then they take it down. It failed, and then they relist it for the same price. That's an automatic red flag. So it looks like they listed this. All right. What is going on with this? Okay, so this sold for $60,000 in March. Then it's listed for sale in August for $250,000. Then they changed the price to $230,000. Then it was pending sale at $230,000. Then it listed for sale again at $230,000. Then they dropped the price 20%, $185,000. Then it says pending sale $185,000. And right now it says pending. So they cut the price $45,000 back October 23rd. All right. So anyways, yeah, it's always good to follow up with those people. Let's move on to the next lead. Let's see. So that was in Leesburg. This next one, I don't even know how to pronounce this. Chuluwada. Chuluwada? Okay. This property looks very familiar. I feel like I've called this one before. This thing is ugly. It's messed up. Man, I feel like I've spoken to these people before. All right. So this next property, share this. This is in Chuluwada. I don't know how to say that. Chuluwada, Florida. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, about 1,300 square feet. They're asking $260,000. All right. Looks like it needs some work. Yeah. All right. So what's the details with this one? All right. Needs some work. What repairs are needed? Kitchen, gut, some flooring, exterior cleanup, possibly new windows throughout. They're asking $290,000. Interested. They're asking $290,000 with you, but they have it listed for $260,000. So I'm going to pick up with the price they listed it at. What's the reason for selling? A lot of work. Any other details? Property has tenants, must arrange for additional viewing. Well, it's got to look a little better than this. I mean, it's rent. I don't know if this is, it seems somewhat livable. Just needs a little bit of updating. All right, first name, Jerry, no last name listed. Let's give him a call. But this house, I definitely spoke with this house at some point. It says 14 days on Zillow, but let me look a little bit more into this. Let's give him a call. For sale by owner, 14 days. Handyman special, just minutes from UCF campus, malls and shopping. Okay. Where is this thing?
Call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying.
Let's call him one more time. See if it picks up. Huh. Also, if a property has tenants, you want to ask them if it's month to month or annual lease. Are they good tenants? Oh man, look at this. Is this kitchen? Extra kitchen.
Your call has been
Pick
forwarded
up the
to
phone. So, something that's important to take note of, guys, is when a seller has a property for sale and there are tenants and they want to sell the property, sometimes the reason they want to sell is because they have bad tenants, but you don't want to automatically assume that that's why they want to sell. One thing that I like to do when I'm speaking with homeowners that want to sell property that has tenants is asking them, hey, what's your relationship to the tenants, right? After I ask them, obviously, what's the reason for selling? If they say it's too much to manage, or sometimes they may spill the beans and tell you right there, like the tenants are horrible. But if they don't mention anything about the tenants, I want to ask them, okay, I mean, are the tenants good tenants? Are they month to month? Are they annual lease? How long have they lived in the property? Do they pay on time? Do they want to stay living? I mean, I've spoken with some homeowners. They've had tenants in there for over 10 years and they're month to month technically. So it's important to ask, because if they have good tenants, they have a good relationship, they're really going to care about somebody buying the property that's going to take care of the tenants. Okay, so that's really important. Sometimes that'll be a deal breaker if, you know, some people just want to buy it and evict them, and that could be a big deciding factor between doing the deal with you or doing it with somebody else. Okay, let's go to the next one. Where's the next one here? Okay, looks like we're going to Michigan. Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Nice. All right, so let's pull this up. Mount Pleasant, Michigan. And, you know, a lot of people will actually slow down the selling process if they're not that motivated when we're going into the holidays, November, December, it's normal for it to be slow. That doesn't mean stop, but you have to keep building up the pipeline, keep nurturing the leads. You know, obviously there's less than 40 business days, right? Banks and contracts go by business days. So less than 40 business days, I believe, in the year. But some people, they don't care. They want to sell, but you have to keep building up the pipeline, because come January, are you going to have stuff to work on, or are you going to start from scratch? And obviously with the elections, you know, the whole elections, you know, some people wait after the election. Some people, they'll say, well, I'll wait until elections are over, or I'll wait till the end of the year. I just had a buyer. Some of my builders, they're slowing down. They're going to wait till after the holidays. So like right now is the time to step on the gas. You guys still have time to get some good traction on some leads. Man, okay, this isn't loading properly, but there's a giant tree in the way. Anyways, while that's loading, let's pull this up here. The property needs some work. Oh, this house had a fire a while ago. Owner has gutted it. Okay. It was a rental property. Okay, so I'm assuming this picture, you know, is there a structure still on there? Okay. Non-established yet, asking price. He has 31 other properties. Wow. Many rentals. He was in the business with his son, but his son has moved out of state. This had a bad fire this spring when the renters lived there. He has not had the time to start rebuilding it. We cold called Wednesday, and his reason for selling is just because we called and he thinks he would consider selling. In speaking with him, I feel like he doesn't have the abilities yet to fix things like he did when his son was here. These are great notes, by the way. Thank you for that very detailed explanation. So, okay, so he has 31 properties. His reason for selling is just because we called and he thinks he would consider. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like he's super motivated. He seems interested. When you're cold calling sellers, sometimes they weren't even thinking about selling. Now, when they say they would consider selling just because you called them, what that tells me is that they're open to hearing what your offer is. Now, whether they accept the offer or not, that's a different story. But we're going to call them back anyway. Let's see what happens. And people that have this many properties, I call whales, you try to provide the best experience possible for the owner. And then if they have any more to sell, who are they going to go to? They're going to go to you. Okay, so let's give this person a call, Mr. Curtis. 621. Let's see. I want to see how bad the fire damage is. And I have a friend that specializes in fire damage properties. I think I'm going to host a little free training with them in the Facebook group to see, because there's a lot of ways to maneuver through that.
Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Curtis.
Yeah.
Hey, my name is Steven. I think you spoke with somebody from our team about your property over there on Michigan Street. Did I catch you a good time?
Michigan Street.
Yes, sir. Were you interested in selling that property?
Yeah, he's supposed to give me a price.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to have you on the phone. Now, he mentioned that it was a fire damage property, right?
There's a fire there. Yes, there was.
Okay. Is it like, would you say it's a full tear down? Is it salvageable?
No. The inside, we've got the inside out. Stuff inside burnt, furniture and stuff, but I mean, it needs work. I ain't gonna lie to you. It needs work, but it's salvageable.
Got it. Okay,
For sure.
perfect.
It's 3 bedrooms, a full basement, older home, probably built, I don't know, 50 years ago anyway. And my plan was to rehab it, sell it. It'll sell for anywhere from 140 to 160 when it's done.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like I say, it needs a roof, it needs siding, it needs windows, furnace, electrical, plumbing. It needs everything. If you're going to make any money on it, you go through all that, obviously. The walls and stuff are not burnt. When we started gutting them out, there was a fire there before I bought it 30 years ago, and there's some burnt stuff in the ceiling, but it's all fixable. Nothing can be fixed. It's not going to fall down.
Got it. Okay.
Now where are you from?
I live in Tampa, but we buy properties in Michigan as well. I have some partners over there that I work with.
I think one of your guys looked at it. Is that why you're calling?
What's that?
I think one of your guys looked at it. Was in it last Saturday with me?
I don't think that was us. That's probably somebody else.
Oh,
yeah.
That's weird. Then how'd you find me?
Let me see. You're here on the list. Let me see who put you here.
Oh.
Yeah, my partner John put you. I think he spoke with you a while back. I don't know if that rings a bell or not.
Yeah. He's the guy that looked at it.
Oh, okay. Then he did look at it. Okay, I apologize.
Yeah. He was inside last Saturday.
Oh,
And I think he's from Lansing, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. He looked at it and said he was going to get back to me today.
Perfect. Good timing
He
then.
didn't think he could do it because his crew is so far away. It's about an hour and a half away for his crew to go there and work on it. He just didn't think it might not be feasible, but he's gonna call me back and let me know. And like I say, I can sell it, or I mean, I flipped several houses myself, but I'm 71 years old and I'm kind of getting tired. So if somebody wanted to do it and make a little money, they could.
Sure.
And if they don't, I'll just go ahead and do it myself. But if you probably talk to John, see what John thinks. Because John took pictures and he's all through it.
Okay. What were
See what you think. See what you think. Call me back. I mean, I'm not doing anything today, so I mean, I'm not
sure.
working on it,
what were you looking to sell it for?
You think get me a price? You get me a price, and I got one in my mind, but it's cheap. I mean, it ain't gonna be a lot of money. I just didn't get rid of it. That's what I was doing.
Can I call you? Can I call you back in a few minutes?
My whole goal is I want to make a little money, but I want you to make money too. I mean, I'm not stupid. I mean, you ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't want to go out of business.
I would think a guy went there and did it probably could make 50 grand. That's just my guess.
You said 15 or 50?
But yeah, just call me back. I'll get your number on my phone here. If I don't answer, call me again.
All right, I'll call you shortly.
Yep.
All right. Bye. All right. Sorry, John. So you did take a look at this. So he has a number in his mind, but he doesn't want to tell me. This is completely normal for homeowners to do. Now, anytime a property's fire damage, I typically like to start negotiating based off the land value. Depends how bad it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm looking at the comps here. What I like to do, obviously, is I look for the anchor price, but I'm assuming these comps aren't fire damaged. Okay, so his house, it's in a decent location. It's right next to a school. It's next to a main road. What is this, a park? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for an anchor price. All right, so I see the lowest sold property sold for $50,000. How far is this? This isn't far at all. All right, so the lowest sold property sold for $50,000 back in April. Okay. His house is actually much older than that, but it's a good starting point. So I'm probably gonna say, like when you give a number, you never want to give like, hey, my offer is $50,000, right? I always anchor price to get a feel of where they're at, but I don't even think this would be an anchor price because this property that sold was not fire damaged. So you have to approach the seller a little bit differently with that. So I give a range either way. I'm going to tell them, yeah, I mean, I see a property on Belknap Street sold for $50,000, not fire damage, obviously. So I'd probably have to be, I don't know, anywhere between, well, let me see what he bought it for. No, it doesn't say. Sometimes I like to start there. 15 to 25,000. I don't know. I want to get a feel of where he would be at. And if he hates the offer range, that's okay, because he's either going to hang up. I mean, he doesn't seem like that type of guy anyway. But somebody hangs up on you because they get offended. You call them right back and say, I'm sorry, did we get disconnected? I want to give him an offer range, see how he reacts to it. Remember, this guy's not, according to your notes, he doesn't seem like he needs to sell. He said he's willing to get it fixed up, whether he's bluffing or not, I don't know, but he doesn't seem like he would want to do that. But I want to get an idea of how he reacts to that range. Now, I'm going to call another lead, and then I want to call this seller back. I don't know if he was in the middle of something. It seemed like, oh, you just, talk to John. Look at the photos. If the house is salvageable, even though it's fire damage, I'm still going to start off more or less around the land value. So what I'm going to do, and I can't show what I'm looking at, obviously, because I'm trying to keep your addresses confidential here. I'm going to go on PropStream, property class, vacant land, and I'm going to see if anything sold recently. And there's no new construction in this area. It's not a rural area, so I don't see any land being sold. Let me go back a little bit farther. Nope. It's not an area where you would just buy land to build or anything. There's not much activity. So the lowest sold price property I see is 50,000, and this property is not fire damage. And so I'm going to start off even lower than that, and I want to see how they react. And I'm going to go to the next lead, and I'll get back to that one. But this is important because I got a message from one of you guys a few days ago saying that you're scared, and I said, well, scared of what? Giving offers. People. Was something about after a tornado or something. Listen. When you guys are making these calls, if you're brand new to this, it could be a little bit intimidating. You could have phone fear. The best way to get over that is just by making the calls. The worst thing that can happen is they yell at you, they hang up the phone. You just have to get in the habit of making offers. And you have to also keep in mind, you're not going to be for everybody, right? But there's people out there that don't want to list their property. There's people out there that don't want to fix up the property. Right? They don't want to deal with it. They rather just sell it cash. And who's the right person to do that? You, right? If you're in this industry, there's people that need to sell cash as is condition, especially after the hurricane here in Tampa. There are people that are like, some listed the properties for sale by owner or with an agent, but they're like, I'm done with this. They got their check from the insurance. I'm tired of it. I want to sell my house in as is condition. There's people out there that need you, okay? You have to do business ethically, create a win-win situation. But there's people out there that need your services that you may not even have spoken to. So just keep that in mind. Don't feel like you're going to be offensive. This is just the business. Not everybody's going to like your offer. And that's why when I'm communicating with homeowners for the first time, I try to tell them, we're a real estate investment company. We're not always the best fit. If I'm not a good fit, I'll let you know up front so I don't waste your time. They get tons of other calls. I'm never going to be the first one speaking with them. But if it's my first time speaking with them, I want to lay down the expectations clearly, okay? So just a quick tip of advice. If you're brand new, aim for 5 offers a day. Go on Craigslist for sale by owner, go on Zillow for sale by owner, redfinrealtor.com, whatever. Just get in the habit of just making offers. Just get it out of your system. You're going to get more comfortable. It's not going to be perfect. And remember, when you're also new, don't try to go through the script, run comps, make an offer all in the first phone call. Just get in the habit of calling them, collect all the information, okay? Then take, 10, 15 minutes, as much time as you need to run comps properly. So that way you know what your anchor, your range, your MAO is, you know what your ARV is. Now you can go back into the conversation a lot more confident and comfortable, okay? Or you can collect information and submit it here on the deal desk for me to call. All right, let's go to another lead, and we'll get back to this seller here. All right, the next one is, what do we got here? Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee. Okay. There are pictures of this property here. Let me see this. All right, so this is listed for 70 days. All right, lakefront home in Ropco Lake in Westwood Shores. All right, they just cut the price. Dang, last month, $10K. I mean, house looks okay. Here, let me go over here real quick. I don't really care about the price. I care about the conversation. How is this conversation going to go? What's the reason for selling? Why do you think it's been on the market for so long? Okay, now this is listed with an agent, so I don't know if you spoke with the owner before they had it listed. Looks like in regular shape. All right, so what's the story with this one? Let me check these off. Hold on a second. Somebody submitted a property that's already foreclosed on. Those are unassignable. Different conversation when you're negotiating with those, so I'm going to skip that one. All right, so fair condition, lake behind, no flooding, repair on driveway, update bath, landscape, paint job, replace rugs, light fixtures, okay, everything. They're asking $189. Okay. Looks like it was listed for 203 when you spoke with them. Reason for selling: too many properties, don't want to deal with it anymore. It's a hassle. Ready to sell today if possible. If not, gone by October 29th. All right. Well, it's still listed. Okay. Mr. Ben. Let's give Mr. Ben a call. Is Mr. Ben the agent or the owner? Let me just make sure real quick. Where's the phone number at? I'll just call him first, and then I'll pull it up. It's always a different conversation with the agent and the homeowner. All right. Also, if the agent's not investor friendly, sometimes, that's another different conversation. All right, let's see what they say. Sometimes these properties make great rentals, so.
This is Ben Crouch with Skyline Realty. Sorry I missed your call.
Guess he's the agent. All right. Let me just run some quick comps on this. I just want to see, why has this been listed for such a long time? That's one of the first things that I use to negotiate, whether it's a homeowner or an agent representing homeowner. Hey, this property's been on here for over 2 months. Why do you think that is? Right? You guys would be surprised how high some agents will list a property knowing they're going to get much lower offers. This is a much different area. It's a lower price point area, but I spoke with I got this property under contract in Tampa last week. They had it listed for $950, and I got it under contract for $850. $100,000 less. Right? Some people will say, "Oh, that's too high. I'm not going to call this lead. They're just asking too much. It's crazy." You don't know what's going to happen, right? You don't know what they're going to say. Don't ever assume just because it's listed so high that it's a bad lead. A lot of people make that mistake. I made that mistake when I was new and I worked with this company. I would go through the leads, and some people look for the low-hanging fruit. Oh, this is too high. This is too high of a price. I'm not going to call that one. And then sometimes you call them, and then they have to sell quick, and they're willing to drop. Okay. What was I going to do? I was going to run quick comps. Okay, so this is listed, active. Okay, 70 days. 3/2/1344, bill 1963. Looks like it's free and clear. That's good. Anytime the property is free and clear, that could leave an open door for terms. Okay, so I see an anchor price of 45. I see an MAO of 110. And these are similar properties. Actually, yours is waterfront, which is actually better for you. But remember, the anchor price is not what your offer is. An anchor price is like, hey, let's start the conversation here. Okay. All right, let's go back to the other gentleman in Michigan. Let me check this one off because I called. Let's go back to this property in Michigan here. Mr. Curtis. Okay. So I'm going to start underneath. First, I'm going to tell him what a property sold for. So he sees, hey, this property is not fire damage, and this sold for $50,000. All right. I'm going to feel him out, see how he reacts, where he's at. So, some people, they're not motivated to sell. Even if that means you give them exactly what they want, some people will not jump. They just won't move. But over time, a month goes by, 2 months go by, you know, they're going to start realizing that everybody's a lot lower than what they want, which is why follow-up is extremely, extremely important. All right, so let me pull this comp up because anytime I'm negotiating with a homeowner, I like to give facts. When you're coming up with an anchor, offer range, or whenever you're about to talk numbers with somebody, people do not like hearing numbers out of thin air. They like seeing numbers attached to a property. Okay, so imagine if I told this guy, yeah, you know, I'd be probably around 10,000, 15,000. That's where I'd be at. It's a lot different than if I called him and I say, hey, like I see a property in 123 Main Street. You familiar with that? Yes. This property sold for $50,000. It was not fire damage. So taking that to consideration, I'm going to try to ask him again what do you think it's worth, what do you want for it. He may or may not give me the answer. And I'm telling him I'd probably have to be anywhere, man, 15, 25. Since it's fire damage, it needs a lot of work. He may hang up on me. I don't know. Right. But some people, if let's say it's not fire damage, I don't know. Some people, they're a lot more open-minded if you give them numbers based on what you're looking at. If you just come up with numbers in thin air, you just throw everything on the wall and hope it sticks. That's not a good habit when you're talking numbers with people. So just keep that in mind. All right, let me go back to this address, Michigan Street. Pull this up. So he says the house is salvageable. I wish I saw those photos. When you guys submit these leads, if you ever have photos, put the photos in a Google Drive link and paste it in the details so I can just click on it. That helps a lot. Okay, man. So let me look at this estimated value real quick. Sometimes you could use the Zestimate to your advantage too. I don't run comps on Zillow, but if the Zestimate is low, if I feel like it's low, I'm gonna say, yeah, like if the property is fully renovated, I mean the Zestimate says it's this price. It's so weird. The estimated value is 89, then the Zestimate's 104. Let me look at a few more. I like looking at different resources when I'm analyzing, like when I'm really crunching numbers. I like looking at different resources and I try killing the deal first. I try to find out how does this not make sense? What can I look for that doesn't make sense? Because when you get under contract, buyers are going to do their due diligence, and they may see things you don't. But the deal has to be bulletproof. It's just got to make sense. Oh, here we go. Let me see if I could autofill this. The more information I have, the better conversation I can have with somebody that's motivated. All right, Michigan Street. Yeah, I mean, I see that's the lowest one. If I could find one lower, that would help a lot. Now, when you're giving an anchor price on a property, it doesn't matter the condition because it's not an offer. Whenever you're giving an anchor price, it has to be the same property type. Okay, like you don't want to find an anchor price for 20 and it's a vacant piece of land, which might help in this scenario because it's fire damage, but he says it's salvageable. Man, now this ARV says 150. Let me take a look here. Regardless, I'm going to anchor price him with that. So let's give him a call. See what he says. And we'll go from there. And he may be open to it. He may hate it. He may hang up in my face. I don't know, but it's all part of the process. Let me filter this. I think the ARV's around 130-ish from what I'm seeing. All right. Let's pull up his number and give him a call. Where's his number at? Here it is. All right. Give me 1 second. Recent. There we go. Maybe he's busy.
No.
Oh, hey, Mr. Curtis.
Yep.
I catch you a good time?
Yep. You got me.
All right, great. So I was doing my due diligence here. I was looking at some properties because the way we base our offers is based off bedroom, bathroom, square footage, year built, condition, the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
Are you familiar with Belknap Street?
What street?
Belknap?
Oh, yeah. I own a house on Belknap.
Oh,
I own a
perfect.
lot of houses.
Okay, great. Yeah, I saw you own like 30 plus houses. That's great.
Yeah.
So I see a property here on 1504 Belknap Street. This one just sold in April for $50,000. It was not fire damage. So I think, in my opinion, I mean, I'd have to be anywhere between, I don't know, 15 to 25,000, somewhere around there, considering it's fire damage.
Okay.
Is that a price that makes sense to you?
Belknap, 1504 Belknap on the corner. I think it's on the corner.
Let me see.
No, it's all time.
No, it's not on the corner.
Yeah, no, I know where it's at. Yeah, my friend flipped that one. Don't think about it. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The guy that, yep, one of my guys did. Yep.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So you're close to what I want.
So what is it
I
that?
couldn't do 15.
What's that?
I said I couldn't do 15, but I'm a little more closer to 30, but 30, 35. But I mean,
Oh,
it's negotiable still. So let me. I'll talk to my wife. You give me a call back. 3-4 hours. See what's going on.
okay. I'll call you then.
Yeah. What did Belknap sell for?
That sold for $50,000 in April 1st.
No. What did it sell when he got done?
Oh, I don't see that
Oh,
price here.
You don't know what the price was right now. Okay.
No, it just
Yeah.
shows that.
And
That's all.
and yeah, this location's close to Belknap.
Mhm.
I'd say Belknap isn't quite as good a location, but it's not pitiful either. I mean, they're
Right,
pretty
right.
close. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So and Belknap is 3 bedrooms, as far as you know. I'll take a trip.
Yeah,
by.
3 bedrooms.
Yeah. I'm 3-4 blocks away. I live here, so I'll run by Belknap and just see what it looks like.
Okay. I'll call you in 3 hours.
Give me 3 hours or so. Eric, if I don't answer, just call me back again.
All right. We'll do. Thank you.
I'm around. Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Wow. Okay. So he didn't turn it down. He said I couldn't do 15,000. Now see, when I gave him an anchor price and a range, you see how he came out with a number. Some people want to see where you're at first. They hold their cards like this, and they're not going to say a single number until you start, right? And people think the first person to give a number loses, which is, there's some truth to that, which is why I give a range, because they have no idea where I'm at, right? Obviously, it's going to be low, and I'm trying to be conservative considering this is a fire damaged property. He's at 30,000. Now, I don't have those photos, but I think $30,000 would work. I think it would work. He says it's salvageable. He sounds experienced. I think it'll work. Let me see if there's any. In PropStream, there's this button called Flip Comps. But I don't see, I don't really see anything. Now, another way you guys can see what investors are buying for, if you don't see, because some are off market, right? So here's a quick tip you guys may or may not have done already. When you're looking at comps, look for the highest sold property in the area, okay? Because most of the time that's a renovated property. That's usually the ARV. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on that. You're going to look at the transaction history, and typically there's an LLC transaction there, all right? And you'll see what that person bought it for, or an LLC bought it for, and then what they resold it for. Now, he said this was a flip. His buddy flipped it, but I only see one transaction here. I do see photos. This is in okay shape. It's livable. It's not, but it's still not fire damage. So he's around 25 or 30. I think it won't hurt to try that out. I'm trying to see. I always try to start 30 to 90 days. But let me go to the highest sold property, which I see sold actually for 170. And this one, this is a good comp right here. Perfect. So the high selling property is 170. Okay. And this property that sold for 170 is much closer than the anchor price. I always try to be as conservative as possible when it comes to this, because when I really start doing my due diligence, the inspection, when I start marketing the property, it just makes sense, right? I try killing the deal. So Belknap is actually a little bit farther southwest of this property. This one that sold for 170, it's actually right around the corner. Perfect. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to take a look. And if there's no photos, depending what software you're using, if there are no photos of the property, you can copy and paste the address on Google. Most of the time, you'll see photos on like Realtor.com. Usually they have photos. So let me put this. I'm gonna click the transaction history on this. See MLS details. Sold for 170. Interesting. It doesn't really show anything about this. Huh. All right. Well, let's take a look on Google here. Let's go to Realtor.com. This is a wood frame house too. Okay, so this has 58 photos. Yeah, this has new paint. I'm trying to get some interior photos. Oh, the ARV is 170. I think if we can pick up this property 25 to 30, I think, depending on the amount of damage, I think it could work. All right. So again, you have an inspection period. Sellers that are reasonable are okay with an inspection period, because even if my offer makes sense, I always tell homeowners, hey, we're going to take a look at the property no matter what. But based on what I see here, what I'm looking at, I'm comfortable making offer at this price. And as long as everything is the same in person, we shouldn't run into any issues. But if you have a hole in your roof, there's foundation issues, we're going to have to renegotiate. Okay. Because you're going to get people, how can you make an offer without looking at it? Well, we have a formula. We look at bedroom, bathroom, square footage year built. We look at the last 30, 60, 90 days. We look at other deals we've done in the area. We know what ballpark we have to be in. But 9 times out of 10, we're going to have to go in person regardless. And that goes for if you guys are planning on closing the property yourself, or you're going with your cash buyer. All right. So whoever submitted this lead, Jake, just reach out to him in 3 hours. If you need help locking this up, shoot me a message. I don't know if, you are in the community, because I'm going through the one in the community. So Jake, if you're in the community, shoot me a message, and I will help you close this in 3 hours. I think it's a good deal. Okay. All right. What else we got? And guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Okay, and I'll do my best to answer any questions during or after the calls. Anytime I open Realtor.com, it slows everything down. I think because they have a whole bunch of photos. Let me X a few tabs out here. All right, that's way better. I don't know what it is about Realtor.com and that. Maybe it's my computer. All right, I think that's a good deal. Good stuff. Let's go on to the next one. Where's the next one? All right. St. Petersburg, Florida. Nice. All right. This property's in Dover Street. Ooh. Flooded. Needs to be demoed and rebuilt. Asking price, $425. What is the reason for selling? Flooded. Any other important details? Yes, includes flood insurance through April 2025. They are countering with 7-day inspection and $5,000 earnest money. I don't have funds for that. I can counter back now, but with that sort of inspection, I would prefer to find a buyer now. Are you interested? Or is a price too? I had offered, didn't realize it was going to be land, thought it was fixable, 425. So what's interesting about this lead, this part, specifically this part of Tampa and St. Pete, this area was actually on the news because almost the whole neighborhood is selling as is. Like some people listed their property for sale, but in the description says selling as is, cash, investors only, fixer upper. Like some people are just sick and tired. Some people have lived here a long time and they just don't want to deal with any more hurricanes. I mean, we got smacked with 2 hurricanes back to back. So, a lot of damage. But this area right here was one of the areas that got hit the hardest. But hold on a second. This house looks renovated. Oh no, it's not. Okay. Looks like it was renovated, but then, yeah. But they're still asking. I mean, yeah, they're still, I don't know how negotiable they are, but here, let me pull it up here so you guys can see. Because in the very first picture, you're like, man, this is a renovated house. And then you start looking at the pictures and, the drywall is cut and all that stuff. But all right, so this is it. First picture. Wow, this is the great renovated property. And then you go in here, a little nice pool, whatever, floor plan. Now you start seeing it got flooded. Okay. Now they're asking 425. This is what I do with these types of houses, and this works for me because I just did one deal a couple weeks ago. The house was flooded. It was a PPC lead. The house was flooded. I asked them, is this property something I can renovate? Like, I want to ask people what their opinion is as well. It's almost like they're kind of educating me. I want to hear them out. Hey, is this property good enough where I can renovate it? No, it's a tear down. It's not salvageable. Like, it's just done. Okay. So that being said, would you agree that the value is more in the land? Okay. And they're open to it. Okay. And I'll tell you more details of once the deal closes. It's supposed to close in 2 weeks, but I want to do a case study of exactly where it came from. Okay. What I have all the calls recorded. I could play the recording. We'll see. Right. I want to show you guys what it took from beginning, from contact to contract to closing. Okay. But yeah, Tampa's been hit hard. We come across a bunch of these types of properties, unfortunately. But then again, people, they just want to sell it. So this is what I do to run comps on this. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this address and I'm going to see if there's any new construction in the area. Okay. How much new construction is there in the last, 12 months? Some builders right now, are not stepping on the gas, and some are buying, and, a lot of them as well are waiting until after the year. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see, okay, what is new construction going for in the area? Okay. And is this listed with an agent? I think it is. Let me see. For sale. Yeah. So it's listed with an agent. Okay. I don't know if the agent's investor friendly or not, but based off their description, the property has sustained flood damage from Hurricane Helene. Drywall and flooring have been removed. All right. Exterior photos are pre-hurricane. That's why it looks so nice. All right. Property sold as is, cash only, written offers only. This seller is motivated but cannot provide warranties of any aspects of the property. Unique opportunity to create your own dream home. Spacious, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So let me pull up the details of the property. Sometimes what I like to do, if somebody doesn't give you a number or you want to find out what kind of ballpark you think they might be in, a good way to kind of guesstimate if they'll accept your offer or not is to see what they bought it for. Most people will not want to sell it for less than they bought it for. Dang, these people, they bought this for $875 2 years ago. Dang. Okay, well, yeah. Active for 420. Can you imagine that? You buy a property for 875 and now you're listing it for 425. That's crazy. But some people just want to stop the bleeding. You know, they deal with insurance and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of properties like this. But I want to see. Let me go back to where I was at. Is there new construction in the last 12 months in this area? Okay. So, and you guys could even do this as on Zillow. All right. So I'm on Zillow. I'm going to go to more. All right. Let's see. Property year built. I'm going to do 2020. And then I'm going to go to sold in the last 12 months. Okay. And then in Tampa or any properties that are waterfront, there's a big difference in value, whether it's on a canal or if the house is facing the bay, because it's more accessible if you have a boat, jet ski, yacht, you know, than a canal. This one, I don't think this one's not waterfront. Yeah, this is not waterfront. Let me make sure it's not on a canal. It's not on a canal. Perfect. So it's gonna be a little bit easier to comp. Some of these new construction, dang, yeah. Here's one that sold for 7 million, 5 million. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, hold on a second. I see a lot that sold for 1.2 million. I want to see how far away that is from ours. This is on Venetian. Let me pull this up here. You really got to be Venetian Isle. Oh, this is a different area. Let me go here. And this is why it's important to like take your time to run comps, because the more you know about the area and the comps, it just gives you more negotiation power. That way, especially when you're talking to agents, they want to know that they're doing business with somebody that knows what they're talking about, that can speak the lingo, comps, ARV, all that stuff. With agents, you can say comps, ARV, cash comps. Sellers, you talk to them in that language, they're not really going to understand what you're saying. Okay, so I see not the lot. I'm sorry. This lot didn't sell for 1.2, the house. Now, some builders that I've spoken to, and this may apply for you as well, if the house sold for 1.2, a good ballpark to give an offer, right? They typically like to buy land for around 20%, 10 to 20% of what the value of the new construction house is. All right, so let's do an example, right? So this sold for 1.2 million. 20% of that is $240,000. All right. Now remember, our seller's asking $425,000. This is the closest property that's not waterfront. So I'm going to take this address. I'm going to plug it in PropStream, and I want to see what they bought this piece of land for. And that's how you come up with a ballpark range of where you need to be at. Okay. There's two houses side by side here. Interesting. Oh, there's a house right next to it. So it's sold for 1.2. Let me click the one right next to it, because they may have bought two lots. So I'm going to click the other lot. It's the exact same size, and it looks like it's under construction as well. Transaction history. Okay. Well, they bought this lot 2 years ago for $480,000. Okay. And then they sold the house for 1.2. Interesting. Now, what I don't see, this is why comps are so important. I see these lots side by side. Okay. They probably picked up both of them. And guys, look, it's all in the math, right? They bought this for $480,000. The house sold for 1.2. 20% of 1.2 is 240. 240 times 2 is 480. So they probably bought both of these lots for $480,000. That's why the one on the left doesn't have a transaction history. The one on the right does. This is a perfect example. And if you guys have to confirm this, okay, you can call the agent. So that's exactly what I'm going to do real quick, is I'm going to call this agent and just confirm that it was 2 lots instead of 1. Let me just call this agent.
Your
real
call
quick.
cannot be completed as dialed.
What?
Please check the number.
This is I think I dialed the wrong number. No, actually I did. Compass Homes, Florida, 727. Let me call this.
Your call cannot.
No, they didn't. Okay. I'm calling the right number. I don't know. But I mean, I did the math before I even looked at these, which proves my point. So 425 is too high. It's too high. That doesn't mean that they'll drop. Okay. Let me call them. I'll give you my realtor. Okay. Well, I guess I'll call the realtor. And now that I have information, I could tell the realtor what I came up with. Okay. There's some realtors that, they're very easy to work with. And then there's some realtors that are very like, I know everything I've been doing since 1986 and, blah, blah, blah. And I've sold this many houses and I'm rank 1 in Florida and all this stuff. It's like, okay, great. So here's my offer. All right. Let's call the realtor. It's the seller's first name. I'll give you the realtor. Actually, this is not. Hold on. You don't have the agent's information here. Let me pull this up.
Hello, this is Caitlin Ryan.
Oh, perfect. I think I'm speaking. Hey, my name is Steve, and I see you have a property listed. I think you may have spoken to somebody from our team about your property in Dover Street.
That is not my listing.
Oh, I don't know why your number's here.
I did speak to somebody who called about my listing and then recommended them to reach out to the listing agent, Joanne Golden, for Dover Street.
Okay, would you happen to have the phone number for that agent?
Yeah, hang on a second.
All right, give me 1 second here. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this here.
Phone number 727. Their listing.
Perfect. I'll give them a call. Thank you.
You're welcome. Wish you guys the best of luck.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. She gave me the right agent. So let me call this agent, Miss Golden. Let's see, there's 6-3. All right. 425. I mean, why they have this listed for 425?
Hello, you have reached Joanne Golden. Your
Let's try her one more time. Some agents don't pick up their phone either. Okay. Anyways, offer for this, if you're watching, around 200 to 220. That's where your offer should be. A good rule of thumb is 20% of what the new construction is. I'm actually going to show you the comp that I looked at. I'm going to show you exactly what I looked at before we wrap up.
Hello, this is Joanne.
Hey, Joanne. My name's Steve, and I saw your. I think you spoke with my partner about your listing on Dover Street.
Uh-huh.
Is that still available?
It is.
Okay. Are you guys trying to sell this more for land value, or do you think it could be renovated completely? What are your thoughts?
It's really up to the buyer and what their decision would be. I would hope that someone could renovate it. It really depends what their desires are and what they're looking to do. Do they want to live there? Do they want to rent it out? Do they want to sell it?
Yeah.
The options are there.
Okay. Perfect. So just to let you know real quick, I'm a partner with some builders in the area. I mean, just to be completely upfront, we would just tear this down and build a new house. Would you happen to have a survey on this property?
I do. It's attached to the MLS.
Oh, perfect.
Are
Okay.
you a realtor,
I'm not a realtor.
or do you have access?
I
Okay,
do.
you
I
want me
work
to
with a
email it
bunch of
to you?
realtors. See, attached to the MLS.
No, I said I can email it to you if you like.
Oh, that'd be even better. I'll text you my email.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay,
Perfect.
so a
Appreciate it.
survey. So typically for us, we would need a survey, a possible soil test, and then we take a look at the trees. For something like this, I think we could, I was looking at new construction in the area. We could probably build a house worth 1.2. I see
Okay.
one in Massachusetts,
Probably.
but our offer would probably be $200,000 cash. We'd cover the closing costs and fees. I don't know if that's something that your sellers might be open
No,
to.
that wouldn't be something they'd be looking at. No,
I understand.
That's far too low.
What do you think
Yeah.
would be the best price
I
that they
understand
could
you
do?
had your goals as well.
What's
I'm
that?
sorry.
Go ahead.
I missed what you said. I'm sorry.
No, I was just asking. What do you think would be the best price they would do, considering if we were just to knock it down and build on it?
I couldn't answer that. Right now it's at 425. Obviously,
Yeah.
if you're looking to knock it down and rebuild, that wouldn't be the right price for you.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. But yeah, I could email you over a written offer just so you have for your records. And if you guys, for whatever reason, you don't get the price you want, that's on the table. We would cover the closing costs, and we would just need the survey and all that stuff. But I'll text you my email, and then if you could, I'll email you. Once you email me the survey, I'll email you a written offer. If you can present that to the sellers, and I'll just check back in with you.
Beautiful. Appreciate it. Yeah, go
Thank
ahead
you.
and text me your email address, and I'm going to send you the survey immediately.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
So they're trying to sell not to a builder, but let me just, we're a little bit over time here, but I want to show you guys exactly what I just saw, just so you have a good understanding when you're talking to agents or you're walking into a conversation. She said no, but it's not up to her. It's up to the sellers. Who knows? What if the sellers accept that? Okay. But let me show you the property that I saw that was new construction. And then I want to show you how I came up with that offer. All right. So give me 1 second. I'll share my screen and then I'll answer any questions you guys may have. But this is really good stuff because any properties in Tampa, whether it has a house or not, we're buying stuff too. We're buying land whether it has a house or not. There's a lot of parts of Tampa the builders, they're getting them at a good price, and whether it's after the new year or whatever, they're going to start building these houses and stuff. But let me show you exactly what I did. This is going to help you guys out a lot. I'm glad I came across this example because a lot of people, they get confused. How do I make an offer on land, if it has a house or not? Some people don't even know what to do with these kinds of leads. All right, so let me do this. All right, so I'm not going to show you the subject property address, but this is what I did here. Oh, I'm not showing my screen. Hold on. Share screen. Entire screen. Screen 2. All right, cool. So what I did is I was looking at new construction in the area, and this is the most recent one that I saw that is not waterfront. Okay. So I see this house. It sold for 1.2. Okay. Oh, hold on. I forgot to do one thing. Let me just pull this up. There we go. Just on my other screen. Okay. So this sold for 1.2. So I want to see, well, how much did this builder buy this piece of land for? Okay. So what do? I'm going to copy and paste this address to PropStream. Okay. I'm going to click the address. I'm going to click details. Okay. Now check this out. You see this image right here? This is new construction, 2 new construction properties going up at the same time. All right. Now, if I click transaction history, it doesn't show anything on here. It just showed what it sold for. Typically, what I've seen at least is this happens when it's a multiple sale. Okay. And guess what? The house next door, they probably acquired as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the X. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to click this address right here. And I'm going to click details on this. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to transaction history. And I'm going to scroll down. Oops, hold on. This window opened up. You guys on the Zoom there. All right, I'm going to scroll down. Okay, Bay to Bay Remodel and Design bought this property for $480,000. Okay. They bought both of these plots of land for $480,000. 480 divided by 2 is 240. 20% of 1.2 is $240,000. Okay. So a good rule of thumb is around 10 to 20% is what your offer. I mean, if they buy at 20%, your offer should be around 10 to 15% or lower, right? So what I like to do is I take 20% of what the house is worth. Okay, 240. And I just want to be underneath that. There's got to be enough meat on the bone for the builder, of course, right? So does that mean they're all going to accept your offer? Was the agent excited about it? Absolutely not. But, if you guys do 5 offers a day, you will get people that, they will accept the offer. The sellers may not be that motivated. Okay. All right. So let's answer some questions and we'll wrap up. So hopefully that was a good example for you guys just to see, because some people, they make it more complicated or it might be really confusing. All right. Great to join you. Thanks for coming. Good morning. What's up, Kim? How many dials do your acquisitions agents make per day? We aim for 75 calls a day. Okay, 75 calls a day. Getting the agent on the phone is half the battle. Absolutely. You'd be surprised how many agents will not answer their phone. All right, let me go over here to the Zoom. If you're on the Zoom in the Real Advisors community, drop the questions in the chat. I'll go ahead and answer your questions now, okay? Hope you guys learned a thing or two on this. All right, so let's see here. I have to submit my lead for you to call on Real Toolbox. No, if you're in the Real Advisors community, you just click on the left side of the menu. If you're on YouTube, watching YouTube, go to the REIToolbox.com. I was under the impression that you did not call agents about listed properties. Has that changed? It's not that I completely avoid it. It depends on what I'm going after. The property I got under contract last week was actually listed with an agent for $950, and I made an offer for $850, and it got accepted. Okay, so it's not that I avoid it, but I prefer off-market properties. Always feel the listing is too high. That's my fear. Yeah. So I'll tell everybody this right now. When you are looking at properties, whether it's off market or listed for sale by owner or with an agent, the price is always too high. But remember, agents especially will list properties higher than what it'll actually sell for because they want to make some cushion room. Then you're going to counter them. It's just a negotiation game. So people will always want more than what it's worth because they know you're going to come in low. They have a bottom number that they don't want to tell you. It's up to you to make an offer. That property that was listed for $950, I could have said, man, that's too high. It's a waste of time. I actually made an offer of $800,000. I knew my max was $850 because that was the other deal I did, 2 streets on the left. So I knew that I wasn't going to go above $850. I made an anchor at $800,000. Okay, we met at $850, and I think it's a good deal. So don't ever feel like it's not just you guys. That's for all of us in this game. We always talk to people that want more than what it's actually worth. Okay, so don't worry about that. Say those choices again. Okay, so yeah, some dialers: Call Tools, Mojo Cells, ZenCall, Batch Dialer, smartphone. So ZenCall is now called Ready Mode. When the property is listed, I make the offer to the listing agent or the owner. The agent, the listing agent. Good morning. I have a couple questions about the RI Toolbox. How many calls on average do you receive? So the RI Toolbox is just a forwarding link to a link tree with all the resources on there. How many calls on average do you receive per day? Receive. So right now I'm really focused on PPC, and these are inbound leads that, they fill out, need to sell my house fast Tampa. It goes on there. We get one to five. Yesterday, we do this nationwide now, so between 1 to 5 a day. But that's inbound. That's not outbound. If you guys are cold calling, you got to make as many calls as you can. What is the quality of the leads? So PPC, and I also put that a good PPC company that I like in the RI Toolbox. So if you guys ever, it is an investment. It's not free, but it is the highest quality leads. Okay. So PPC leads, the quality is the highest because these are people going to you, right? You're not cold calling them. You're not outbound dialing to them. These are people say, I want to sell quick. Make me an offer. They're going to you. Typically, you'll get 1 under contract out of 10. Okay, so that's a good return on investment depending if you're targeted or you're doing it nationwide. And remember, everything I'm doing this right here on the show, these leads are all from all over the country. You guys can apply the exact same system I use. And if you guys are in the Real Advisors community, my whole acquisitions course is free on the left side of the menu. So if you need a little refresher, whether it's negotiations, objections, click that, study that. Okay, you should be watching that. If you haven't watched that, watch that. Don't watch Netflix yet. Watch that first. It's going to pay you back more. I promise you. Okay. So yeah, out of 10 PPC leads, you may get 1 contract. The price for PPC, there's PPC, there's PPL, paper lead and pay-per click. Pay-per-click is like a campaign. Pay-per-lead is like they're selling it per lead. There's a whole bunch of different platforms for that. And there's a company that does both, and I put that link in the ritoolbox.com. But if you're more targeted, like if you say, hey, I only want leads in Tampa, that price per lead is going to be higher than if I said I want leads all over the United States. Okay. For every 10 leads, okay, you should have 1 contract. That contract, that deal we're closing is a really good assignment fee. And I'll tell you all the details once it closes. All right. But it's a 6-figure deal. Okay. So it came from a PPC. Okay. But they are the highest quality, but they are an investment. If you're starting out, you're limited on funds, driving for dollars, Zillow for sale by owner, cold calling are great methods to do. My very first deal I've ever done with very limited funds was a driving for dollars deal back in late 2015, early 2016. How much does a program cost? I don't know what program you're referring to. Good morning, Stephen. Can I get your email? I'm in the Houston, found a house that's been remodeling, need help. You guys can shoot me a message on, and I'll see what I could do. And I'm pretty active in the community. You guys can always ask questions there. Any last questions? That's it. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys learned a thing or two today. That was a fun episode. I think hopefully I give you some valuable insight on how to evaluate land, talk to a few agents. Oh, that lead in Michigan. Who submitted that lead? I think it was Jake, right? Michigan Streets. And Jake, I'm sorry, not Jake. John, you are in the Real Advisors community. If you want to shoot me a message, contact, we'll get you with the admin. We'll set up a Zoom call. I've already done that with another student. If you guys are in the Real Advisors community and you submit your leads on the deal desk, and I think it's a deal they accepted or they want to call back, we'll jump on a Zoom call. We'll close that deal and we'll JV with you on it. Okay. So in 3 hours, okay, let's call that lead back. Let's make an offer. Let's get a signed contract. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend. Make calls on Saturdays, by the way. If you have time on Saturdays, make those calls on Saturdays. Right now is the time to step on the gas, okay? We're going into the holidays. You guys still have time. when you get to Thanksgiving week and, winter break and stuff, it slows down. But keep your foot on the gas. Do not stop, because you're setting up the pipeline for Q1 of next year. And let's close some deals right before the holidays. Let's get some Christmas money here, okay? So if you guys need any help with anything, feel free to shoot us a message. Also, you guys in the community, have a great weekend, guys.